What's up, YouTube? Got plenty of great books to show you. Haven't been doing videos as consistently as I used to, but there are a lot of reasons for that. I've kind of taken my foot off collecting, like day in, day out, week in, week out, and I've kind of just picked times that fit into my budget to collect. And I've actually got a lot to show you now. I think it's been a month and a half since I last had something, but yeah, so as you can see here, I've really wasted no time getting started. Like I said, I have plenty of other books to show you, but I'd like to kind of get it started off with a story and how I got this awesome book. On Saturday morning, I picked my girlfriend up at the gym, took her to my house, and she realized that she'd forgot her change of clothes at her house, which is one town away from where I live, and she was feeling pretty upset about it. Like, she had other things to do and she wanted to shower and like just didn't want to bug me by having me go to her house and pick up her clothes, but like I was happy to do it, no big deal. So I went, and across the street from her apartment building was this church sale, like just like a yard sale at this random, I think, Methodist church. And I said, you know what, like, she owes me one, I can be a little bit late, no big deal. Let's just see if they have comics. And there were a lot of people just kind of selling typical yard sale junk, but I found this one guy at the very edge of the sale who was selling old books, and I spot this book here on top of a box that's labeled comic books and magazines. So I go right up to it. I actually thought it was Sergeant Fury number 5, the first Baron Strucker, because the color profile is somewhat similar on both books, but it was number 1, and I didn't even take a look to kind of scan it and see what the condition was in. I just asked the seller, what do you want? He said $100 for the whole box. So I agreed. I told him to not do anything with the book, not do anything with the box. I sprinted to an ATM, I came back. I didn't look at anything else that was in the box, guys. I just put this box in my car, got my girlfriend's clothes, and went home, and just in disbelief that I had this book. Now, this to me is one of the most underrated books there is. In part, I think, because it's so hard to find. It's not around much, so I feel like people don't mention it much when they kind of talk about their wish list. And honestly, I haven't seen this book in too many videos, despite its, you know, its aura, its importance, its significance. This book does have some flaws. There's a chewed out corner there and there, and some spine wear and creasing. The biggest issue is actually a pulled staple. Staples are attached, but I'm saying this staple is pulled from the front cover. This one right here, and actually the top staple is barely hanging on, but that doesn't matter. Like, to me, this book is just such a key and so rare. I had never seen one, with the exception of eBay and Comic-Con, but I had never seen one in the wild, and I finally found it. So to pick it up for essentially less than $100 is awesome. And the thing is, it's not just Nick Fury. I mean, it's the Howling Commandos, Dum Dum Dugan. I mean, it's just awesome, and the story is fantastic. So really happy to get it. And actually, on my way home, like I said, I hadn't thought to look inside the box to see what else was in there, but you know, I was thinking, like, okay, if this is in there, you know, conceivably speaking, you could have other Marvel keys, other huge keys, and he actually didn't. But you know, there was a point where mine was racing. I was like, oh, is there going to be like Silver Age stuff, like FF number 1, Amazing Fantasy 15? Like you kind of go nuts, you know, hypothesizing what else could be in these boxes. So here's some of the other significant stuff in the box. I'm gonna do it from like least cool to most cool. So Tomb of Dracula number 6, nothing really major, just a cool book. It's in nice shape. Here's a Golden Age Atlas book, Tales of Justice 66. I just thought it was a cool cover, figured I'd keep it. I think this guy was into war books, because that was the only Sergeant Fury, and then there was this Combat Kelly number 32. This book I like just because of the cover. Pre-Thor, Journey into Mystery. I love that. That's number 52. It's in really nice shape. And just an awesome cover. Like, you look at those colors. Just awesome. And then some indie books, too. Blondie, number 39. Blue Bolt, Volume 6, number 1. And then, whoops, B-Bar-B Riders, number 18. Those 3 indie books I looked up on eBay. They're at about like $30 each right now. So, but you know, whatever. They looked cool. There were some other indie books too, and there were like a bunch of other new Atlas comics by like Stan Lee's brother. And just some other really random stuff. Nothing that rose to the level of this book in the slightest. So I actually ended up trading it for a really nice copy at my local comic book store of Tales of Suspense 65. This is the first Silver Age appearance of the Red Skull. I'm certainly not the only one to own this, to show it. But this book is in really nice shape. Just came in via a Kirby collection into the store. So I was happy to get that. So right away, I mean, I paid $100 for all those books. So pretty cool. And I picked a new spot to do my videos. This is in front of my couch because the lighting is good. A few weeks ago, I took a road trip up north toward Manchester, New Hampshire, to go to an estate sale. They were advertising comics. I guess I got there too late. Apparently, first thing in the morning, someone showed up, took them all, and I came out empty-handed. So I went to a comic book store that was a mile away from the estate sale, and I found this book for $1. Considering I see some people try to sell it for $75, even $100, that's a steal. Obviously, the first Nightwing, pretty cool, and I think this is the origin story of Deathstroke as well. So pretty awesome. Some eBay purchases. I picked this up for 12 bucks. Really nice copy of Avengers number 71. First appearance of the Invaders. Who knows if that group of heroes is going to have any kind of a life in the Netflix shows or in the cinematic universe, but just an awesome cover. My girlfriend is really into the art on these books, and she died when she saw this cover. She loved it. She loved the colors, loved the vibrancy, loved the Eiffel Tower. So pretty cool. And then I also managed to pick up probably my favorite Amazing Spider-Man cover of all time. Maybe not of all time, but I love the yellows. I think this is one of the most underrated books there is. I was working late one weekend, and I was waiting for some bureaucratic BS. And so I was on my phone, and I had eBay opened, and I bought this book for like $125. It's in nice shape. I would give it like a VG plus, maybe a fine minus. It's a great read. This is when Peter Parker stops wearing his glasses because he gets into a fight with Flash Thompson, and it's also the first appearance of the Living Brain. So right now I have Spider-Man 2, 6, 7, and 8 of the first 10. So I'm soldiering on. I'm really looking for issue 4 and issue 9. Those are two big priorities for me right now when it comes to comic book collecting. Went to another local store, picked up this. This is Batman 345, first modern or Silver Age appearance of Dr. Death, who was a really early Golden Age villain for Batman. I picked this up for I think $6. This is Batman Mask of the Phantasm. It was a movie before it was a comic book, so this is the first appearance of the Phantasm. I actually saw this book for the first time in Spidey Fan 78 CT's Most Underrated Comic Books video. It was like maybe a year ago, or maybe more. Hasn't had a video in a while, but I love the art on the book, and I just thought it was cool. It was maybe $2.50, so I might have even overpaid for it, but whatever. Picked this up for $3. Batman 363, first appearance of Nocturna. And then I picked this up for $1. Marvel Team Up 57, Spider-Man and the Black Widow. This is the second appearance of the Silver Samurai. Then I'd like to give a shout out to Manta Comics on Instagram, who sold me this book for a really good deal. Adventure Comics 271. First appearance of Lex Luthor in the Silver Age. Really awesome cover. Happy to get this. So thank you a lot, Manta Comics. Thanks, Jackson. I went to a comic book sale this past weekend as well, the day after my big Sergeant Fury purchase. I got some really great books there. I picked this up for $5. Nothing significant. It's just it's a Silver Age comic book for $5 in really nice shape. So Tales to Astonish 64, why not? It presents nicely, so I went with it. I got this for $4, Marvel Team Up Annual #1. This is the first time Spider-Man teams up with the new X-Men, including Wolverine. So pretty significant book and a great cover. Really great cover. Picked this up as well, $40. Not bad. It's got some spine wear and a little bit of tape here, but no big deal for me, honestly. I kind of care more about condition on the Marvel books than the DC books, but this is Justice League #9, a book that's really heating up recently. So I believe this is the first Silver Age appearance of Earth 1 Wonder Woman, and it's also the origin of the Justice League, and just a really awesome cover. So happy to get it. I have been dying to get a copy of this book. I finally did. I think I paid on point for it. This is Fantastic Four #20, the first appearance of Molecule Man. I won't say what I paid for it, but I'd say it's in VG shape, and I paid probably spot on what the book is worth. This is now the earliest FF in my collection, and I was really happy to pick this book up again. This is Fantastic Four 36, first appearance of the Frightful Four. This is in lower grade. I'd probably give it like a good plus or a VG minus. I had a really high grade copy of this book a few months ago, but I traded it away for First Mysterio and first appearance of Green Goblin's Glider. So I really wanted to hook up with this book again, and I found it at a sale this weekend. I found it for $15 in this condition, so I scooped it up right away. Yeah. Now, last of my books for this weekend is this guy, which is really climbing in price. This is Marvel Preview #2, The Origin of the Punisher. Great story to go with this one. The seller, I'd actually gotten the treasury from the seller of Spider-Man vs. Superman. And I picked that up for $20, and there was a $35 sticker on this. And so I pick up the book, and I sort of realized that big treasury, I said, you know, I've got nowhere to put that. It's too big. Like, yeah, it's a cool book, but do I really want it? And $20 isn't really a good deal. It's kind of like what you should pay for that book. I certainly wouldn't pay more than $20 for Superman versus Spider-Man. So I went back and I asked the guy, I said, hey, can I exchange my treasury for this book right here, and I'll give you the difference? And he said, no, forget about it. Just take it. Switch the books. So I got this book for $20. And some of my friends that were with me were just like, how did you score that? Like, that is insane. Like, I paid like $80 for my book, or I paid $100 for my book, and this book is certainly heating up. And I don't know if the seller knew what he had or if he was just being a nice guy, but really, really happy to have this. So that might have been like my best value book of the day. I would say the weekend, but that designation definitely belongs to the Sergeant Fury. And then I hit up a sale at a new shop that opened, just kind of winding down, guys. It was half off everything in the store. I didn't really find much. This is Daredevil 238, an early appearance of Sabretooth. It might even be a second appearance, but don't quote me. I picked it up for $1. I also picked up, I don't have it here in front of me, I picked up for $1 the first Archangel, X Factor #24, and Young Avengers #1, also for $1. That's the first Kate Bishop and Hulkling, so pretty cool. And then a nice Silver Age book here, beautiful cover. Spider-Man number 33, Stan Lee's favorite of the Ditko books. I picked this up for $20. It's got some obvious wear. I mean, it's got a chip there, but whatever. You know, nice book. And then, to round it all out, I picked up for $1 the entire Secret Wars run, with the exception of 1 and 8, which I already own. So, each one of these was $1. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, pretty happy to have these. I mean, I've been looking forward to reading them, and some of these books still go like $4 or $5. They're not terribly expensive, but they're kind of annoying to pick up one by one, so I was happy to just kind of knock them all down for essentially $10. So I'll be busy reading the original Secret Wars, because the latest one sucked. But yeah, that's my entire haul. Let's put this guy back up again. I have Rhode Island Comic Con coming up. I haven't bought my tickets for it yet. Stan Lee's going to be there. Anthony Mackie's going to be there. Gal Gadot's going to be there. So we'll see. I mean, after this weekend, you kind of realize, you know, Comic-Con was a month and a half ago, and it's just the difference between just finding books in the wild and going to Comic-Con is insane. I'm just curious if you guys feel the same way. Books tend to be pretty pricey up in the Northeast conventions. New York, obviously, but Boston's the same way. We'll see what Rhode Island Comic-Con is like. But hope everyone's doing well. One last thing, I appreciate all the support everyone's given me on Instagram. But if you're still watching this video, which it's getting a little bit long, I promise I'm going to cut it soon. Give me a follow. I need some more love. I got 100 followers right now, but it'd be cool to have more. I post a lot of the books that I find. Not all of them, obviously, but hey, I think it's entertaining. And again, let me give a shout out now on Instagram to Manta Comics. Really good guy who... There he is. Sold me that Adventure Comics 271. Anyway, hope everyone's doing really well. Sorry that this video was so long. Stay classy. And remember, Gotham Comics with an X. Bye-bye.